I welcome everybody to Ramey TV once again. I want to talk about a big white elephant that nobody's really addressing, and it's what's happening with the US economy, what's going to happen to it, where it's headed, and how it will impact the global economy as a whole. So let's start from the beginning, and I'm going to break it down for you point by point. And I want to make it absolutely clear here. This is my opinion. I don't work for the federal government. I don't work for any state government. But based on the research that I've done and the knowledge and education that I have, this is what I see happening. The country is hit with a virus, an infectious virus. Before I begin, don't forget to hit that like button to help the YouTube algorithm with my channel. And what's the response that we take, and that I'm glad we did take, is people should stay at home. When people are home, they're not spending money. All right, so now what happens when people aren't out and about spending money? Businesses aren't making money. When businesses aren't making money, the businesses have to cut their cost to stay in business. So let me rephrase that. When companies aren't making money, how do they stay in business? They stay in business by cutting costs. And what's the number one cost reduction method in the world? Laying off employees. When you lay off employees, you're further adding people out and about in the world who can't spend money. You're adding to the pain points of an already hurting economy. So now you have people who are not spending money, and you have businesses who aren't making money. What does that do? Before I explain that, the US economy is like a giant ship. A ship doesn't pick up speed quick, a ship doesn't slow down quick. And when you're about to make a turn, a ship doesn't turn right away. So I read about this on a daily basis. Everybody says, oh, the market's doing perfect. There's no indication. It's all well and good. For a country like the United States, it takes a little bit of time. So even though the United States economy is able to bear people not spending and the companies not making money, in the long run, you're gonna see those effects worsen. And what do I mean? Just a couple of days ago, we all read that the futures of crude oil hit the negatives. What does that mean? It means that the stockpile or the storage in the United States is already at its peak. Where are you going to store that oil? So those companies are rejecting that oil and actually paying for the shippers to take it away. Now, the United States is the largest consumer of crude oil or petroleum products. And I'm going to touch base on this oil part later. That's number one. Number two, real estate. People who were going to sell their homes are now sitting tight on their homes. People who were going to purchase homes are now sitting tight. People who were going to purchase homes are now sitting tight on their money because both parties don't know where things are headed and they want to be safe. Now, currently, even though you'll probably read that March and April are showing strong home sales and the home prices haven't tanked, but you won't see the effects. Real estate is a lagging industry. Unlike the stock market, which takes a hit like that, real estate doesn't take a hit or doesn't take off until several months down the road. So now the real estate industry is slowing down. Now, because of the real estate, you have the mortgage industry, which will suffer. Why? Because people won't be taking out loans. So mortgage companies won't be making money. And now banks will take a hit because businesses either are unable to pay or make their loan payments, or they're unable to apply for new loans. You see, everything is tied to one another. And in order to stimulate the economy so that all these pieces keep on moving, what does the federal government do? It dumps money into the economy in terms of stimuli or stimulus checks or whatever you want to call it. For short term, it's well and good. But where do you think the federal government is getting all that money from? It most definitely does not print new money. That's not how it works. So that federal government down the road will need to recoup that amount. So this is how the US economy is hurting right now. And if I were most people out there, and that's what I'm doing right now, I'm sitting tight on my money. I'm not spending it because I want to make sure I'm able to pay for my roof, I'm able to pay for my car, and I'm able to put food on the table. And most of all, I'm able to afford my health insurance. Now, how does this impact the global economy? Until then, we're done.